Hello Tiger fans and welcome to the Raw Vision Round 6 preview show. We're joined today by the great man Wayne Walker Campbell, who's moved into opposition analysis now, former assistant coach. Thanks for being here, Wayne.
Nice to be here, mate.
How are you enjoying the new role?
Watching plenty of footy, Matthew. Yeah, the weekend was filled up with, Thursday night in Brisbane, Saturday night obviously our game, and then back on the plane to go to Perth on Monday to watch Freo and the Dogs. So watched some pretty good footy over the weekend though. So
Some very good games. Now it must be good coming into this week. We've had a confidence building win on Sunday night against North Melbourne. Must be good, feeling good about this week?
Yeah, certainly we played some reasonable footy in patches over the previous 4 games, but this was the first one where we sort of strung most of the game together. Unfortunately, again, our start wasn't great. We're probably 5 goals to 1 down, but the way they fought on that last quarter, and obviously whether we were lucky to kick 7 straight against their 2-8 or not, but we still thought we finished the game the better, which is, it gives us a lot of confidence that if we're in the game for a long period of time, into 3/4 time, that we're a chance to win. So certainly looking to progress on that this week.
Now over the Easter break, played on the Sunday night. Did the boys get a day off after the game?
No, as you'd be well aware, in football you don't have public holidays. So no, it was whatever public holiday there's been, we disregard that. You just move on with whatever you have to do.
Now you're playing the Brisbane Lions this week on Thursday night. They haven't had a win yet this year, but they were pretty competitive, looked pretty good, and they've had those few extra games break. Yep. How do you see their form?
Yeah, they've got a 9-day break and we've only got the 6, so that does come into play a little bit, but they've got to travel, so that probably evens that out. Their form's been pretty good. They were good against Freo in round 1. They got beaten by the Bulldogs pretty convincingly. I think it was the Bulldogs, and then should have beaten Melbourne down here, and then we're pretty competitive against St Kilda up there last Thursday. So they're building a reasonably good side, and certainly it's going to be a pretty good game.
So what's been the focus at training this week, and how do you think you can beat them Saturday night?
Well, as with every club and every game we go into, the contested footy is obviously the first one we want to win, which we were pretty good at last week. We hadn't been so good at that the previous couple of weeks. They've got some tall forwards in Leuenberger and Clark that are in good form. Daniel Merritt's in sparkling form at fullback, just getting his big
sauce,
getting his big fist in. So he had something like 19 spoils or something last week, which is extraordinary. So. And Adcock's playing pretty good footy across halfback as well. So now they've got some good players that we're going to have to cover.
Good work. Well, speaking of big sources, Big Red Justin Leppitsch faced the media earlier in the week. Let's have a listen to what he had to say.
Wins and losses you probably don't tend to look at until the second half of the year, and when you really assess your season. But yeah, we've had a tough draw to start. So when you're playing the top 8 teams in the first 4 rounds, it doesn't, I guess, give you the 4 points. But as you said, we get confidence out of the way we performed in most of those games. So all it means is that we've been competitive in a very small part of the season, but there's a long way to go. You can be competitive and still lose, or you can play poorly and still win. That's just the way the game works nowadays. So we've got challenges in what I guess the public would perceive as lesser opposition, but if we don't play well against Brisbane this week and do our best, they'll definitely beat us. Their numbers say that they've been as competitive and getting the ball inside 50 as well as anyone. So if we don't bring that, they'll put a score on the board.
Well, Daniel Jackson's been playing well, Wayne, but he's copped a 1-match suspension. How did you see that?
What he did was pretty silly. He's obviously a really aggressive player, and we want him to play with that aggression and toughness, but he was really disappointed in himself, and as were the leadership group and the coaching staff as well. So we want him to play aggressive footy, but not do things like he did on the weekend.
So how do you cover him? He plays an important role in that midfield. Will you slot another player into that position, or will you have to shuffle it around a bit?
Well, Jake Batchelor comes in for him, so he'll play more at half-back. So Sean Griggs been able to play at half-back. Tucky will get a go starting in the middle probably, so he'll try and fulfil the role that Jacko's been playing for us.
Beautiful. Dustin Martin was pretty good the other night. 4 goals and 33 possessions. How are you seeing him at the moment? And does he remind you of any other players around here in the past?
He's going pretty well. Yeah, I mean it's an extraordinary performance really for a second-year player to have as big an impact as what he had. It's been building to that. He started the season pretty well. Whether he reminds me or not of anyone, he's a pretty unique player in that he's so tough inside, and yet he's such a beautiful mover and such a good kick as well. So I'd say he's reasonably unique. Were you thinking me, were you?
Well, no, I wasn't thinking you, actually.
Oh, right.
Well, actually, when Dustin was born, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, Wayne, but he actually stiff-armed the doctor when he came out.
You used that gag before? Because I wouldn't run with it again.
It's actually not one of mine. So anyway, we'll get back to the footy. Jack Riewoldt, his goal kicking on Sunday night, he just doesn't look like missing at the moment. When he first came in, he could miss a couple. How much work has he done on it, and is he doing anything different?
No, he's done an enormous amount of work on it. He's generally in here on his day off, having 50 shots or something like that. So always out there before the game having shots as well. So no, he's put in an enormous amount of work, and he's got a little routine that works for him. And if only you could have done the same, I suppose, in the previous 15 years, we might have won a few more games.
Do you think I should have done more work on it or not?
No, I'm just saying you probably worked on it as well, but he's found a remedy. I don't know. I'm not sure what happened.
I found a couple of remedies, but they didn't work for long.
Handball.
Yes, very good. Now, that's about it, I think, boys. Thanks for joining us here today. Wayne Campbell. This is the GR room, by the way. We've been kicked out of our normal spot this week, but hope you enjoyed that. And all Tiger fans, get to the G on Saturday night.